Oklahoma.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank my good friend Chairman McGovern for yielding me the customary 30 minutes, and I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, Mr. Speaker, we're back again on appropriations, and we're back again on the exact same set of bills as before. Last week, the House agreed over Republican objections to pass a set of appropriations bills, 6 of which would fund the relevant departments for a full year, the 7th of which would fund the Department of Homeland Security until February 8th. Today, not content with already having passed these bills once, my friends in the majority are again bringing up 4 individual bills that were part of this same package, covering the Transportation and Housing and Urban Development Bill, the Financial Services and General Government Bill, the Agriculture Bill, and the Interior and Environment Bill. Nothing substantive in these bills has changed. Indeed, nothing substantive has yet changed anywhere in this process. The government remains partially shut down. The Senate's refusing to pass the bills my Democratic Party colleagues are proposing. The President's refusing to sign them. And the majority is proposing to fix the problem by passing the exact same bills. To quote the great Yogi Berra, it's deja vu all over again. While I commend my friends in the majority for trying to reopen the government, let's be clear about what they are proposing. The 4 bills under consideration here represent only the Senate-passed versions of the bills covering the FY19 appropriations process. They represent no input at all from the House, no input at all from the Appropriations Committee, and no input at all from the joint House and Senate conference committees that were appointed to iron out the differences between these bills and their House counterparts. In essence, the Democrats' only plan is for the House to swallow the Senate's original bills, abrogate our authority and responsibility as a co-equal House of Congress, and declare victory. What's more surprising is that my friends now expect that, having tried this same thing before, they will now get a different result. To be clear, last week when the House passed these exact same bills, the Senate made it known these bills would not come to the floor, and even if they did, the President has made it known that he would not sign them. I don't know why they think what they think is so different about this week over last, to make my friends think that all they need to do is to pass them again, and magically the Senate will pass these bills and the President will sign them. And perhaps even more surprising, the majority now wishes to bring these 4 bills forward under a closed rule, with no opportunity for the House to amend them, no opportunity for members to weigh in. As a member of the Appropriations Committee, I understand how hard it is to have a full process on appropriations bills. But it is indeed possible, even when funding bills carry over into a new year or even a new majority. In 2011, right after Republicans took majority control of the House, we considered a bill on the floor to fund the entire federal government. And we did it under an open rule with only pre-printing requirements. When we considered that bill on the floor, 162 amendments were offered from both sides of the aisle, and we had a grand total of 66 hours of floor debate on the bill stretching out over 5 days. Given the amount of time we used in 2011, I fully understand what an undertaking that would be. But unless the majority believes that these bills will quickly pass the Senate and quickly be signed by the President into law, then there's plenty of time for thoughtful debate and plenty of time to hear ideas from all members of this House. Instead, the majority has chosen to push forward with an appropriation strategy that they know cannot succeed. Mr. Speaker, the House should be taking steps this week to negotiate with the Senate and the President to end this shutdown. And that means that whether the majority likes it or not, they need to engage on border security. The American people have told us time and time again that they want action on border security. A solution they are proposing today does nothing on that front. Even if we pass these bills today, and even if they ultimately became law, the border would remain unsecured and the Department of Homeland Security would remain shut down. Nothing the House will do in this package will change that essential fact, and nothing in this package is a step on the road to changing that essential fact. Mr. Speaker, it wasn't always this way. In 2006, 64 Democrats joined Republicans in passing the Secure Fence Act, which President Bush then signed into law. Those 64 Democrats included 13 current members now and one additional member who has since gone on to the Senate. Even liberal lions of the House, like our good friend and former colleague, Congressman Barney Frank, joined the Republicans in voting for border security. I'm unclear what has changed from then until now that we would cause the entire majority caucus to refuse to work with Republicans on border security when so many did so back in 2006. In closing, Mr. Speaker, while I agree with the good intentions of the majority in seeking to fund the government, their method of doing so is in no way sufficient. Instead of abrogating our own authority, embracing a Senate-only product that the President will not sign, and kicking the can down the road, we should be taking concrete steps to reopen the government, secure the border, and move on to the many important needs of the American people. With that, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge opposition to the rule and the underlying legislation and reserve the balance of my time.